Hi everybody, I'm Ernie, and I love America. It's still the land of the free and the home of the brave. Well, it's been a while since I've done a tape here. I guess I need a little rest from all the election energy drain, as it were. But here's where we stand as far as I can see. We have a newly elected president who is already pretty much lost. He's now calling on former Clintonites for various cabinet and administrative positions. We probably knew this was going to happen anyway. But the real purpose of this tape is to ask a few questions of all of my fellow Americans from the left and from the right. Let me start with this Minnesota debacle, the Senate race up there. My question is, when in this country did we decide that a man, and I use this term very loosely, like Al Franken, could be taken seriously as a possible legislator? A former Saturday Night Live regular and avid Bush hater, he isn't just a typical liberal, he's an embarrassment to liberals everywhere. He claims to be a satirist, which gives him the license to spew his lies, his downright vulgar remarks toward anyone not in his camp, and get away with it by saying, well, I'm a satirist. Well, he's actually a vicious American hater, and yet he may become the next senator from Minnesota. What did we as American people do to allow this type of immature clown to rise to such popularity and possibilities? America has been inundated with valueless, immoral, self-serving, anti-American Marxists, and we sit by and watch the tidal wave of irresponsibility take over our country. We take Hollywood stars as political savvy intellectuals, when in actuality, they spend most of their lives pretending to be someone else. They have no core values, no morals, no integrity, or an honest bone in their over-decorated bodies. Switching channels here. How do people like, say, Ingrid Newkirk attain serious attention and the backing of so many public people, mostly Hollywoodites? As a co-founder of PETA, she once compared the killing of 6 billion chickens to the 6 million Jews who died in the Holocaust. We give these type of people a voice. Why do people like this get a voice, and then why are they taken seriously? She went on to say that even if animal research resulted in the cure for AIDS, she would still be against any animal testing whatsoever. That's not a very moral or a very American attitude. That's just my opinion maybe, but you see what I'm trying to say. Oh, we all have the right to an opinion. That's the American way. This is America. But there has to be a line drawn somewhere to separate idiocy from dissension or just plain old disagreement. What if our newly elected officials decide to disarm America? What are we going to do? Well, we're going to become a second-rate country, a second-rate power. I don't know why people cannot understand that national security is necessary for peace. You've got to have an army to protect your border. Peace through strength. You've heard that before. If our military is cut, as in the Clinton years, when Bill cut it down to 3 sergeants and a corporal, we will surely be at risk just as we were on 9/11. Another point. Just recently, ELF reared their ugly heads again. ELF is the Earth Liberation Front, a band of wackos who think burning down corporate buildings and products will help save the Earth from SUVs, new housing projects, and in turn save the Earth. In San Diego alone, ELF burned down a condominium complex in some beautiful canyon out there worth $50 million. They burned a bunch of SUVs, all in the name of saving America. Believe it or not, though, there are thousands and thousands of Americans who cheer these eco-terrorists. This is not the America we want. Then we have people like Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid, Chuck Schumer, John Mertz, Barney Frank, and of course, Reverend Jesse Jackson. All political correctness idiots or ideologues. These criminals are allowed to replenish and proliferate. Barack and Biden are lost, and it's going to get worse. I guarantee you. But let me say this. I will not stoop to the language used for years against President Bush, who, by the way, made some very, very serious mistakes and lost my votes. But he never deserved the language used against him and his family, nor did Sarah Palin deserve any of that. Al Franken himself likened George Bush to Hitler, for God's sakes, and to Saddam Hussein. That's pretty weak, and it's just plain damn sick. This is the guy that wants to be the senator in Minnesota. America, we need to weed out the losers in our legislative branches. Being a senator or representative was never, and I repeat the word never, intended to be a profession. It was intended to be a service to our country and then pass that position along to the next man in a gentlemanly manner. This is why term limits were initiated. The same term limits we voters voted on a while back, but has largely been ignored because we just stand by and wring our hands and say, well, what can we do? Well, we can get involved and we can do something, especially on the local level. Make sure good, honest men and women are elected to our city councils, our county commissioners, our mayors, and especially our state legislators. Remember, these people are working for us, the American people. At present, not very many are, and that includes both sides of the aisle. The Democrats are being run by all the crazies in Hollywood and the liberal radicals and the I can't even tell you what I think of the eco-freaks. And socialistic desires. The Republicans have given up their ideas of family values, defeating of integrity and service to America. So both sides are wrong right now. This country deserves more. You know that, I know that. We've come a long, long way in the march for freedom and in a very principled way of life, which we all should be able to enjoy. The mob in Washington has no idea of what America is. Most of those people have been there so long, they're so damn out of touch, they probably couldn't name the 3 East Coast states. They're so busy getting reelected, they have no time to concern themselves with us or with we, the constituents. We're being torn apart by those who are for themselves and their own selfish greeds and goals. We need to seek out these leeches and vermin, and chase them back down their damn holes. This is our country. This is America. Don't let socialism, Marxism, communism, or just plain stupidity ruin and destroy the greatest democracy in the history of the world. In future tapes, I'm going to be naming a few people I think are pulling this country down. And in the meantime, I'd like to have you all go out and pick up a copy of a book by Bernard Goldberg, who was with CBS for a long, long time. Now I think he's a Fox News contributor and an author and a speaker. Very, 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 very even-handed gentleman, all right? Anyway, his book is titled 110 People Who Are Screwing Up America. You might be surprised at some of the names that are in that book. Some of my points were taken from comparisons from Bernard's book. So I want to give him credit for some of the statements that I said. Some of them were his general ideas. So I don't want to be accused of stealing anybody's material. Bernard Goldberg is where I got some of the information. But anyway, it's a really, really good read, and it really explains what's happening in our country. It really helps. My next video, I'm going to discuss the principles of the Declaration of Independence. And I think you'll get a really good idea of what this country is about and should continue being about. And in parting, I'd like to say thank you to all of you who watch my videos and watch my channel. And one last comment I want to say, don't forget, when you're out and about, buy a service person some lunch, one or two of them. I did it the other day. God, it made me feel really good. Don't let them know who did it. Just tell the cashier I'm paying for their lunch, all right? You will feel absolutely great. And people, let me tell you something. That and things like that are the real American way, and why I do dearly love this country and will till the last of my breaths. Thank you for watching, and God bless America.